Hey everybody, what's up everybody? We got a few people on. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. Let me introduce everybody. But before I do that, let me just say thank you for tuning in. This is probably the second of what we probably do a few Fridays whenever the band can get together. I feel like we're like AC/DC now. We're getting the band together now. So, tonight we're gonna be chilling with friends. I got New York Gold up there, Don the man up there in the corner there. Adam down below. We got Justin King, all Brooklyn alumni.
What's up, everybody?
Society aficionados. I see Randy. What's up, Randy? In the house. He ain't on the games right now, supporting us. Shout out to Randy up there. Logan. Yeah, where is Logan? Logan's here. I miss you, man.
There he is. We got Big Sal in there too.
Sal's in there. What's up, Sal? Shout out to everybody. Thank y'all all for showing up and supporting what we call. I ain't really giving a name yet, but we got to come up with some kind of collective.
We got to figure that out.
Both freshwater and saltwater sides of the hobby. Last week, you guys joined us for the nano vote. The gist of it is when we do these shows, we'll discuss a certain topic, and we want you guys to chime in. So we take our votes, your votes, we tally them up, and we come up with a collective rating, whatever fish or plant or whatever we happen to be discussing at the time. Don has the data because he's cool like that. You know, Adam is bringing a fair point of view. We got Justin, the new man in the chair. He's looking official with those headphones, looking like the engineer.
Yes. I wanted to make sure I could hear everybody.
That's our pilot. He's flying the ship today.
Well, you see, I got my smart man glasses on, so I can actually see. But let me just go over how we're going to do this here. So tonight we're talking about the best angelfish, and we're talking about saltwater. There are a ton of angelfish, both freshwater and saltwater. But tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're going to appeal to my saltwater brothers and sisters out there. So we're talking about angelfish. The criteria that we're going to be talking about, and Don will probably say this better than I would, but of course, when we look at fish, we go by the appearance. The judging is going to be on price and availability, how rare or how hard it is to get some of these animals. We're going to talk about size, which can accommodate what size tanks or what size tank is suitable for keeping them, and as well as the care requirements like pH, do they have a special diet, or do they have special things that make them harder or easier to keep? And that's going to bring us to the rating scale. So if you guys were on our last, actually, let me not do all the talking. Don, can you tell us about the rating scale? Donnie,
what's that?
You going to tell us about the rating scale?
Yes, I will. Randy's hooking me up with the keyboard for this thing. The S through F scale, S being the best, that's superior, and it goes on down the line. So we're going to read the fish. We're going to go through all that criteria. The only thing that was off that list was if the fish was reef safe. That's another one of the requirements that we're going to be reading off. And then we'll announce the fish's name. We'll go through its description, and then you're going to show a picture of it, right? And then everybody, including the chat, is going to give it a rating of S through F. And then we're going to try to find an average there. And then D is going to put a picture of that fish in its category. And then by the end of this thing, we only have a dozen fish to go through, and then we'll figure out where it goes. And if we have questions, if the chat knows more, the chat's going to know more about these fish than definitely me. I don't know anything about these fish, but well, I'm judgy, so I get to judge.
Yes,
well, that's one of the beautiful things too. I mean, many of us, we buy fish on site, and sometimes, and unfortunately, we learn about them later. But this is about learning, sharing is caring, because how do you ever learn if you don't ever get the information or ever try them out? So this is why we want you guys to chime in, because Uncle Sam wants you guys out there to chime in. Some of you are keeping these fish right now. I'm trying to get you guys to vote. And also, this goes back to some of the stores. We got a lot of sponsor stores in the 5 boroughs. And based on what is popular, it kind of helps them know what they can bring in or what they should bring in. And since we're talking about angelfish, let me just give you the book or Google or whatever you call it, the basic definition of angelfish. And this applies to both freshwater and saltwater. So angelfish are any number of laterally lined, compressed, deep-bodied fish with extended dorsal and anal fins. I left the A out because I got a public school education. Typically brightly colored or body-striped bony fish. The family Pompsonidae, and I probably said that really wrong, but warm seas and freshwater will probably apply to more of the black and silver laterally lined compressed fish. So that is the basic definition of what we're going to be talking about as far as we're talking about angelfish.
Oh,
So
and D, you had mentioned that when it comes to angels being reef safe or reef safe with caution, I'm sure we're definitely going to chat later on about what that caution means and what you may need to sacrifice in order to keep certain angels, unfortunately. But when it comes to the name, they're kind of mean.
Mhm.
and I know we were talking about this the other day. Adam was getting gung ho with the angelfish when he started looking at the varieties of angelfish. I found out the hard way, and that's with any fish, even with freshwater fish, it can label it communal or reef safe. You will always get that exception to the rule because I've tried to keep
Very
coral
true.
beauties. I had coral beauty that was lovely with everything until he discovered that he liked zoas. I don't know if he just accidentally ate it one day after months. Then he liked eating zoas, and I had to catch him and take him out. But then you have people that keep them and they don't bother anything. So when they say reef safe, it is reef safe or reef safe with caution. A lot of the times you'll see like saltwateraquariumfish.com or something, it'll say reef safe with caution because any fish can develop a taste for anything.
Yes, very true. It could be your corals,
Mhm.
mainly your corals that you spend
Yeah.
so much
And another
money
thing
on.
too is I know
Uh,
one thing that transcends between the freshwater angels and the saltwater angels is a lot of them don't look like they look when they are adults. So they could be sold as different fish. Like it happened to me with those, fake Altums they sold me. They just give it the Altum name and stuff like that. But like even the Manakapuru, you're really taking a chance. When they're a quarter size, they just look like any silver in the store. They look like a $2 fish when you paid a lot more than $2 for it, and you're just praying when this thing grows up, it gets that silver back or the rusty colored back, and you got what you paid for. So you got to, when it comes to stuff like that, you got to know the breeder and blah, blah, blah. You're really taking a chance. So, and I saw a lot of these things where the juvenile fish looks completely different than the adult,
Completely
it's like two
different.
different fish.
We're going to talk about a few of those because also like
And do your
freshwater,
homework.
like freshwater fish, they can be beautiful when they're young and grow into straight up drab fish.
Yeah,
like you can
like bright red that is charcoal colored garbage.
like true story. I should have invited him. I'm gonna try to get him to speak at the club. He's really busy, but we went to Andrew Sandler's house, and if you guys don't know who Andrew Sandler is, he's up in Long Island. He has a 17,000 gallon tank. God bless her. Joe was still alive, and we went up there, and I met him online because we were talking about a really rare fish. He had a fish that was koi colored. It was yellow, black. Beautiful fish. He paid thousands of dollars for this fish. I mean, he has the resources to pay for that kind of fish. But after 2 years, it actually started reverting to its natural color. So it started looking like
That's
a
crazy.
regular fish, but you paid so much for it. And these fish can do that. You can buy a fish, it can color up one way in the store, and at home under your conditions, it can look another way. But from juvenile to adult, a lot of angels go through a metamorphosis.
Yes, one good example being, and I don't know if we're gonna cover it today, but my favorite is the emperor angelfish. It's the logo on saltwateraquarium.com. As a juvenile, it's got these beautiful navy blue and white stripes, and then as it gets bigger, and it's gonna get big, it changes completely into a whole other fish. So folks definitely are disappointed when it loses this color when you were hoping that it would stay this coloration for the duration of the fish's lifetime. But no, it got.
Yeah.
All right, we're 10 minutes in. You want to start? I mean, you got people waiting. You want to start being judgy?
Let me switch gears here and try to get this going here.
What's up, Mexicali?
Mexicali here. Hey. I was binge watching Mexicali last week before.
That's in Baja, right?
Mexicali is in a small town right over the border in Mexico.
Yeah, so isn't I was gonna say it's in Baja, California. Like
Yeah,
how we
yeah.
have like New York City, so
Mexicali, chime in and tell us where you're from because we don't know. All right, so we got the chart up here.
Oh, yes.
All right, can you guys see that, or am I jacking it up
Right.
here? All right, so we got the chart here. So we got a list of fish. We got the list of fish here.
You're giving it away.
Yeah. You know I'm still getting used to this damn program.
There you go. That should be
That is the bicolor.
Yeah.
bicolored angelfish. Oh, we're on the same page, D. We're doing good. The maximum size this gets is 6 inches. The keeping is, according to the internet, is fairly easy. Not a very hard fish to keep. Not ideally a reef safe fish, and you can expect to pay, depending on the size, of course, between $45 and $70 for this beauty right here, the bicolored angelfish. D, you have to start us off with this.
Now, I'll tell you from experience, this baby eats zoas. This was the first, and this is considered a dwarf angelfish, or I guess they would call it, a dwarf angelfish. Beautiful fish. It will nibble, is what it does. It will nibble on fish, but if you have a tank 55 gallons, even a 40 breeder, you can probably house one of these fish. It's a beautiful fish. And for those of you that are freshwater guys, you don't have to have a reef tank. If I got a fish only tank, I would definitely buy this fish because it's a beautiful fish. It's pretty communal. It doesn't bother other fish. I give this in the realm of angelfish. I definitely give this one an A. I'm not going to give it a superior, but I give it an A.
I guess we'll go down the line. Not a saltwater guy, everybody knows that, but there's even freshwater. They have a bicolored fish that I always like, bicolored angelfish, and there's something about the contrast in the colors. It's just when it comes to looks, very good looking fish in my eyes. It doesn't seem to get overly big. 6 inches is not bad. So it doesn't seem to be an intimidating fish to start off with. Even if you want to do like a one fish only tank type of thing, this would be like an amazing centerpiece. So if I could keep it alive, I would agree and give this an A. And before I shut up, like the chat, you get to vote on these things. So from S to F, put it in the chat and I'll write it down and you'll be part of the average. So go ahead. Justin, tell us what you think.
All right. Well, bicolors are very nice. They're also readily available. I've seemed to be able to see them when I walk into any reef store. They're definitely there. Getting to 6 inches is nice. What's also good about angels is that and like what Don had said, is that you have a little bit of time before they get to that growth spurt. So let's just say it was the centerpiece. You could keep this fish in a slightly smaller tank if there were no other fish there, as opposed to having a whole bunch of fish there available as well. So I would also definitely give this one an A. They look really cool. They're price wise, they're normally sold pretty cheap. So I've seen them for like 50 bucks. Yeah, I mean in the reef world, under $100 is considered cheap.
That's cheap, and it's practically free. All right, yeah. Pretty good. Adam, what do you think, brother? What do you think?
Yeah, the price sounds good. For someone who's also not a saltwater guy, hearing all the prices that D spends for his fish.
Oh, you seen my spin,
this is, yeah. I think this is a good entry angelfish for someone new like myself. I do also like the contrast. I'm gonna throw this one up as an A as well. I'm
All
in
right.
agreement
So
with the three of you.
I got A's across the board. Even the chat has 2 A's. Sal gave it an A. Logan gave it an A. What up, Logan? And everyone here. So put her in the A hole.
Whoa, pause.
Put her
Wow.
in
It's a
the
family
A-hole.
organization.
What is
Pause.
going on? Welcome to the chat, Josh and James.
All right. I'm moving these pictures like a toddler.
James, you're a little late on the vote, but the average is still A.
Wait, did he
So-
give it an A?
Oh,
He gave
but
it a
he
B.
had one.
He gave it a
Okay.
B.
He gave it a
It
B,
was
but like I
aggressive,
said, it's
though.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 A's or 6 A's and 1 B. So
Yeah, James says he had one, but and of course it was beautiful, but it was aggressive to the other fish, so he
All
gave
right.
it a B for that reason.
And
All right.
and
Makes
and
sense.
to that, I will say with angels, angels are like tangs. I call angels and tangs the cichlids of the saltwater world. If they're established in a tank, you got to add them at the same time, baby.
Good to
All right.
know.
So hold on a
Right.
second. I'm giving you guys a cheat there. Wait, no, hold on a second. Make sure I'm getting the wrong one. I'm probably out of order here. Yeah, I'm out of there. Okay. All right.
Covering my eyes. Covering my
My
eyes.
eyes. My eyes. All right. So that is the blue ring angel.
okay, very good. This is the blue ring angelfish. It gets to 18 inches in size. Fairly hard to keep, not an easy one, not reef safe, and you can expect to pay around $200 to $275 for this beauty.
If you find it.
Yes.
Well, I don't. That's when it comes to like availability. You're talking to the wrong guy. It's up to you and Justin in the chat. I don't know how available they are, so we can add that in, but I don't know. You want to go in the same order again, D? Or
yeah, I'll just for this fish. The last time I saw this fish, I have to say, if I'm not mistaken, was in Florida at Worldwide.
Mhm.
And this fish now is more in the thousands because you will not. It is not a fish that somebody's going to randomly bring into the store to sell. This is a fish that usually people request, and it's beautiful.
Like I said, I just go into the internet, I put this in, and it's for sale, and these are the prices that come up, and I get the average of that. So I guess if you do shop around online or whatever, you could probably find it cheaper. I found it for cheaper.
D
And
and
it
Justin.
is under $100.
It is a very sought after fish. Very sought after. But
Have you guys ever seen it in the shop or no?
I've seen it in a shop, and when I say Worldwide, that is a big shop. And I'm just gonna grade it a D, only because fish at that level are hard to get and hard to keep. Because the way they have to catch them is they usually have to catch them out the wild, and they don't ship very well. So you see what happens if I spend $100 on a fish and it dies, Adam. You see, imagine $400.
I have a heart attack.
So
Won't finish the text saying
it's a beautiful fish, but for the care and ease of keeping, I give it a, what did I say, a D?
You said D.
Yeah.
D.
All right, you give it a D. I'm up next. Yeah, I'm up
Yes,
next.
sir.
Look, if as a newbie into the thing, if I was going to start, this is the last fish I would start with. The appearance, it's like a 9 out of 10 or whatever. But like I said, availability, price, hard to keep. It's got everything going against, especially someone that's not experienced in salt water. This is a fish that you'd need to know your business to deal with this thing. You need experience. So for me, this is somewhere like I'm going to give it an E because it's pretty. So I'm not going to give it an F. So it's getting an E from me.
Interesting.
And for all it's worth, for all intents and purposes, the picture doesn't do it justice. I will say that it's a stunning fish because you just don't see
it.
Right. You see them in like aquariums, like at the New York Aquarium, you would see it because you need such space.
I got news for you. You probably wouldn't even see them with one of these. Just
oh wow!
because they're so not for real. Like certain fish, you won't even see in the aquarium.
And one of our members, Sal Amato, I think wholesales, or he may have a hookup when it comes to overall fish, and he definitely has more knowledge on, I guess, it seems like the care on them. Just out of respect of it being an angel, I'm going to give it a C because I'm pretty sure I've seen it at the New York Aquarium doing its thing, being absolutely massive, knowing that unless I would need a small swimming pool in order to maintain it and keep it happy. So out of respect, I'll give it a C. And like D had said, the picture right here is not doing it justice in order to see it move around. It's majestic. So yeah.
Sal gave
Wow.
it an F.
Yeah, Sal gave it an F. Josh gave it an E. He says that it scares him. And his
Yeah,
corals
I
matter,
got
so-
3 E's and an F from the chat.
Well,
Yeah.
Josh keeps a lot of corals too, so I know. What's up, Josh? Shout out to Josh.
Yeah, so Logan also said he thinks it looks really cool, but the size is difficult. So then he moves to an E. Interesting.
Mhm.
I was, not being from the salt world, I felt like it looks like a beauty just right after seeing the photo. And I had high expectations for this one, but I'm pretty shocked to see everyone's rating here.
Hey, Don, would
As
you
far
say
as
that's a 12-incher?
is it
This
I
is an
think-
18-incher.
Yeah, I know it's bigger than 12 because I'm trying to think. When I
18?
saw it, it was huge.
Yeah.
And it has those
Make it
streamers.
massive.
so you've only seen it once in person, right, D?
I
That was
saw it
at
down there in
the
Florida.
Global in Florida. Yeah. So based off of everything you guys said, yeah, it's a beautiful fish. I mean, this seems like one of those fish that people would, once you've been in the hobby for a while, you would really want something to
Like
the
a
next
holy
level.
grail.
The Holy Grail. Yeah. So for that reason, I mean, I'm not too scared. Once you get to a certain level, you should have enough experience to keep it alive. But the space that's a whole nother thing. Like you have to have a lot of space. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a B.
You
Gorgeous
need
Wow.
fish.
a B.
Well,
Whoa, okay.
Yep.
Fish
I'm like the
love.
highest between the
Showing that
chat and
fish
us.
All right. So between us, that's like a C minus, but the chat really pulled us down. They have an F and 3 E's. So it's
Yeah.
really, this thing got 4 E's total.
This
So
thing has made
yeah.
some people
really like an E.
Sal
That
says Long
fish
Island
is
Aquarium has
self-esteem
one
just
if
dropped.
anybody wants it. Sal, did you check the price on that by chance? Out of curiosity, let's see what it goes for.
Yeah, so what's the skinny on the price of one of those if I wanted to throw it in the
Sal's gonna
40
be our
gallon over
price,
here?
our price guru. And yo, while everybody's logged in, I see we got 12 people in there. You grab you guys a beverage, a snack, sit down, chill a while, because it's just everybody just chilling and talking about fish. I would have something stronger, but I drank it earlier, so you know what it is.
What?
Right.
I'm gonna get a beer right
family
now.
channel.
After
Family
this
channel.
Well, I didn't say what. Maybe it's a strong soda.
Like
Only
Wu-Tang,
Fish
it's for the children.
NYC joined us.
What's
Oh,
going
what's
on,
up?
Only Fish?
Only Fins.
Yeah, you want to explain Only Fish?
Only Fins.
Only Fins, Only Fins. We're
Only
going
Fins.
over all these saltwater angelfish. We're going to give a description. You vote on it from S through F, just like it says in the chat. And then between what we say and what the chat votes, we come up with an average and we place the fish accordingly. And the next fish up, D, is number 3.
The next fish up is Glingle, Glingle, Glingle. Wait, where the hell's my paper at? You have the paper? I got my glasses on. Hold on a second. The next fish is the blue face, and he's right here. The blue face, baby.
Oh, she's a purdy one. She's a purdy one.
Somebody else go first. I don't want to put a stigma on it.
Adam, let's start from the bottom up.
Okay.
I'll give you the description before we go, okay?
Yeah.
So this is the blue-faced angelfish. He gets about 15 inches long. The keeping, they said, is moderately hard. So not easy and not hard, moderately hard. It's reef safe sometimes, which is safe with caution. And the price, you can expect to pay between $200 and $300 for this. Go ahead.
Wow.
Tell us what you think.
Not bad. Well, it seems like a decent price for saltwater as far as saltwater goes. I know I've seen a lot of angelfish. I did a little research before this stream. A lot of the ones that I like seem to go on the range for like 500. So this
Well,
is
you're high maintenance,
half,
Adam. We know
half
that.
that.
And what's the availability of this fish?
That fish is another fish that's hard to keep because
Oh,
No availability.
it's hard to get. I should say, not hard to keep. It's hard to get because they usually catch them large. They don't look like that small, like that blueness in the face.
I just want to know:
a lot lighter.
do you have to order this? Can you get it at the store, or they're hard to find?
Yeah.
You'll
not getting that in the store.
You'll get this like in Florida, the southern states, more than up here.
All right, yeah,
Because they have bigger stores, and this is a big fish.
all right. So this fish is hard to get.
It's hard to get, and it gets big.
All right, I need to know that for my answer.
me too. Me too.
He's making his list.
I like the contrast on these guys. Beautiful. I like the patterns as well. Like the if you look really closely, you see the white edging on the scales. Beautiful. Little black spot in the back to confuse prey. It's a gorgeous angel. Do a quick question for Justin and D. Do angelfish usually have the bottom fin as long? Like it looks like a freshwater angel a bit. Is that typical for angelfish?
Yeah, they have long ventral fins.
Yeah.
The larger body does, because these have the oculus. The ones with the oculus, like Oscars, have that circle spot on the tail. You tend to see those long fins. But like the past fish, the blue ring has streamers
On its
and
head,
that one,
right.
this one doesn't. But then again, that may be attributed to the male or female. But I never seen one of these with that. Their fin body is different.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy an A. To me, it's a striking fish. This is something I would like in my tank, even though it's difficult to go. I have to do a drive to Florida.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah. And I think I see purple too in the face. It's hard to see, but like, oh no, it's blue on my computer on the laptop, but on the phone it looks purple.
Yeah, when they're smaller, that blue isn't as dark. Like a lot of the fish, they go through a minute, but I think they're prettier when they're smaller.
Would you give it, Adam? Did you give it a number?
Yeah, I gave this one an A.
An A.
A for Adam.
Here, there you go. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was pulling up the right thing. This is the blue face, right? Okay. So this was a big boy, an expensive big boy. I've never seen this in the store before. However, its juvenile phase is absolutely insane. I just wanted to see if I could somehow steal the screen for just the hottest of seconds.
Yeah, just click present.
Right. Okay.
And then your screen, and then select which one you want.
Let's do the entire thing. All right. And then if we were to pull up, look at its juvenile phase. That is absolutely.
And that's the fish that people usually buy.
Right. Right. This is
that's
also the logo
the one that you see in the stores.
For saltwateraquarium.com. Yes. Like it's that guy as well.
No, so, that's a different fish. Don't get confused.
Oh, that's a different one. Oh, okay, okay.
Fish. You jumping ahead.
So sorry. so sorry. But overall, I would give this one an A. Let me stop sharing. There you go.
That's 2 A's.
I would give this one an A for just out of respect. I wish that I could keep such a thing, but if it's a reef safe with caution, unless you guys like playing roulette and like spinning the wheel and thinking that it won't happen to you, look, it's going to happen to you. Okay, so just beware.
And Sal's giving it an A too.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Sal on the thing. Anybody else gonna vote in the chat? You gave it an A. Let's see. When it comes to appearance of this thing, I don't think you can get. It's got so much going on, especially looking so different and good looking as a smaller fish, and to see it morph into this, it's like morphing from a really it's almost like having two different fish.
It is.
You know, I had this for a couple of years and it looked like this, and now it looks like, I mean, this has everything that I like in a fish. You know, I love yellow and I love blue. It's got both. I also love when the scales pop. You ever see those koi where the scales really, it looks like someone took like a netting and spray painted it on this fish. It even has the spot. This is like it's like a hybrid tang angel. It's got a mask. It's like this fish has everything going on. Is it an angel fish? Is it a spot fin tang? Is it a masked criminal? What? It looks like it's hard to get much better. I know there's like prettier and stuff like that, but this just has so much going on. It's really.
Do you like the adult better or the juvenile?
I don't know. And I would love to have both, you know, and it's nice that you get the option to have both, because something like that, I wouldn't be able to decide. But if someone told me, well, it starts out like this, ends up like that, you know, by the time you get sick of this, it turns into that.
And if you want the other one back, you just start breeding them.
Right. But it's pretty big. It's hard to keep, blah, blah, blah. So that being said, I'm going to give this a B.
I don't think it's hard to keep. I think it's hard to maintain.
It's moderately hard to keep. It's between hard and easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you
have a B is between C and an A, so I gave it a B.
Yeah.
All right, D, you give it your all.
I give it an A. If I had another fish only tank, this fish would have
Logan, give it a B.
This is a showpiece fish.
Josh, give it an A. All right, so we got 5 A's, 2 B's, so it's an A. You guys put it in the A slot.
A
A's in the A hole.
Whoa!
But Dave was going to give a little explanation about why. You were saying that this is something you really want yourself, or
this is something I really wanted, but once you go in a certain direction with saltwater, it limits what you can keep.
Right.
You know, like if you're keeping a reef, it limits what fish you can put in there.
All right, but
and D had mentioned that like there's keeping like a fish only tank. In that tank, you can't keep any corals, even though you would like to, because those fish are going to.
I will retract that.
Okay, certain kinds of corals.
Yes, this fish won't eat hard corals. It may
stinging poisonous corals.
It'll eat polyps. Like some of the coral have
LPS, softies, yeah.
Ouch.
Nice standalone centerpiece fish, though. I mean, that fish can carry a tank by itself, I think.
For sure.
We have an overall.
What's next?
What's up next? Number 4. The peppermint platy.
The coral beauty.
Coral beauty.
And they don't call it a coral beauty for nothing, baby.
Oh, boy. Adam, start us up again. Come on. Oh, let me read. This is the coral beauty. This is, I guess, is this considered one of the dwarf species or small ones?
This is a dwarf.
Yes.
Because this coral beauty only gets to about 4 inches in size. It's very hardy, easy fish to keep. Another safe with caution fish around the reef safe business. And this is another under $100 fish. You can expect to pay around $45 to $60 for this guy.
I just saw this fish today at Exotic. Shout out to our friends at Exotic Aquariums over there on Avenue U. They had this fish. It was $65.
Okay, there you go.
I almost bought it.
You should have. Wait, do you currently have an angelfish or no?
Not now.
Oh, okay. What about you, Justin? Are you holding any?
I've literally set up a tank for one, and on my list of dwarf angels to get is a coral beauty. Also, shout out to Brooklyn Zoo and Aquarium. I had stopped in there for one day, and they were acclimating one. And I went there 2 days later to try and buy it, and it was already gone.
I
knew you were going to say that.
But they are readily.
They have a pretty decent saltwater selection. The tanks aren't so hot, but they have a lot of fish. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's antiquated, the acrylic system they have, but they have stuff. I wouldn't be afraid to buy a saltwater fish out of there.
Justin, didn't you mention you were? Well, we'll talk about that later. I was going to say another.
Justin, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so sure, the coral beauties are definitely somewhat readily available, definitely affordable. A good starter angelfish because of their size. Being labeled like a dwarf angel means that they're only going to max out at about maybe 4 to 5 inches. And then there's an even class of angels called pygmy angels, and those guys will only get up to 3 or 4 inches. So you can keep those, although you should keep them in much larger tanks. You can keep such a thing in like a 40 or a 50 gallon. Uh, I would definitely advise some caution as well. I, I, I would be okay with keeping this fish in like with some pulsing xenia. I don't care about that, but keep no coral that you care about near this fish. Otherwise, you'll have a great time. And it's also good so that most people, it's one of the few angels that you don't need a swimming pool tank in order to maintain. You can keep it in like a 40 or a 50 gallon. If it's just this guy, if it's just him, nothing else, I could even say maybe get away with it in a 30 gallon. But the Tang police who are associated with the Angel police will also probably come and say that I shouldn't do that. But throwing it out there. But I like this fish. I like this fish. I'll give it an A tier.
Okay.
Wow.
All right,
I'll
Adam,
go
what do you
next.
think?
I think this is what sets
We're
saltwater
getting a lot of
beauty
S's.
apart from freshwater. This is one of those fish you walk into the store and you see it and you go, "What is that? I want one." I've never seen a fish like this before. I do like how it's purple or blue on the outside and it just fades right into those stripes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, it demands attention. This is definitely an S tier for me.
Okay.
Nice, nice. And another thing when it comes to these guys, and I think you had mentioned it before, you add this one last. Or
Yeah.
if you have 2 of them, you add them last, because if you add them before and then you add other fish, they become very territorial. So if you add them last, then they can just get used to that territory. But anybody else in there, unless it's a very large tank, they're going to pick a fight with. So be wary.
I don't think I've seen 2 of these in a tank before, to tell you the truth. They usually have them separated in the store.
If you wanted to breed them, what size tank would you guys recommend for
I've
them?
never seen anybody try that. That's the difficulty with the
I don't
saltwater
think so.
side.
I see.
You need a big tank to attempt to breed some of these fish, because if it doesn't go right, you end up with one of them dead, which is never
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
But
Right.
for that reason, oh wait, did I go? Did you cast your vote? Did I jump over
Go
you?
ahead. Go ahead. Cast your vote.
This fish for me is an S, and it is not by any means the most fancy fish, but I've kept it. It's easy to come by. It's easy to feed, and if you have 10 fish in your tank and this one comes out, that's the one everybody looks at. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what's that?" They're like, "Oh, what's that one?"
True.
So I definitely like it. I had it and it didn't eat coral. It actually got in a
Nice.
fight with my tang, which peeved me off. I wanted to throw him out the window, but it's a beautiful fish. Beautiful fish and affordable.
All right. I think like this is the type of fish that really checks all the boxes. I mean, beginner, even if you're an old salt like you guys are still wanting this fish, and you guys are in the business for a long time, and you still want one. So it ain't gonna get old. Everyone's gonna love it, including yourself. You could do it like you said for a new hot. It's a hardy fish. It's affordable. You're not gonna cry for 6 weeks because you had to flush it down the toilet. It's a $50-$60 fish. So yeah, this is the epitome of an S fish in my book. So there you have it. So the chat
agrees
has 2 A's and 3 S's. We have 1 A and 3 S's. So really, this is like an A++. You got to put this in the S category. Our first superior fish of the day. Ding, 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 bring it back.
At least somebody made it to the S class.
Yeah, I got a little worried after the first one. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
we're just
We're
getting
so picky
started,
with the
guys. We're
angels.
just getting started.
We got a contender here. This is when we talk about angelfish. This is the fish that people think of when they think of angelfish. The emperor or emperata, as a lot of the scientific gurus refer to it. Emperor is like one of the holy grails of angelfish. So, Don, take it away.
Oh boy, this is the emperor angelfish. The size 15 inches. It's not an easy fish to keep. As a matter of fact, the internet says it's hard to keep. It is absolutely not reef safe, and the price really fluctuates on the size. A little guy will run you about 140, 150, and a big dog like this will run you like 600. Availability, I have no idea. You have to ask the chat or the other guys in here. And yeah, that's the Emperor Angelfish.
Well, you can usually find these fish. Now, here's a tip for all of you guys that are thinking about getting angelfish or thinking about get this. This fish you absolutely have to buy when it's small
Yes.
because it is
Yes.
very underrated when it's small, and it is usually not sought after when it's small because if you can see the picture there, that is what it looks like when it's small. Completely
Yes, that's the
different.
juvenile.
Another
Yeah.
fish that looks completely different when it's smaller.
That's
But
the one that Justin was showing with the logo, right?
Right. That
yes,
is
but
definitely the.
but
Yeah, it's nice.
But like Don was saying earlier, you might buy this fish and love it when it's small and be like, oh man, I'm disappointed when it gets larger, or vice
And then
versa.
you have problems when it
Or
gets.
vice
Yeah, it's fun not to like that adult fish. I don't know. Come on.
This guy is a cichlid of fish. He will absolutely go after other fish. Like it gets big and it gets aggressive. But I give it an A because it's awesome.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
This is awesome. Both colorations are magnificent. It's a centerpiece.
All right. I'll go next if you're done. Look, the hard to keep part always is a downer for me. I'm coming in from a new perspective as if I was going to start this, and this is probably as nice as it is, it wouldn't even be on the radar. Price wise, availability wise, all that things. So it just wouldn't. I don't even know if my keeping skills would ever get to the level of this fish. That would
If
be
you
so
bought
far
it
out of range
small-
right now. So for
if you
me,
bought
like
it
it's
small-
not even part of the equation. So I would give it an E. Although it is a gorgeous fish, and the looks wise, that's a whole different category. But that's the only box I can really check. All the
Wow.
other boxes don't get checked.
But if you
So
bought
one
this
check
fish,
box.
if you bought this fish, Don, I have to compare it to a flower horn. If you bought and raised it from small, it is easy to keep. Like if you grew it into that, it was easy.
Yeah, but I could buy an adult flower horn and throw it in the tank, and it'd be fine. You can't with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
And I wouldn't pay $600 for a flower horn.
Yeah.
You can with this. You have no choice but to do it with this.
Mm.
It just that's my vote.
So he got an E.
An E from me, an A from you, and whoever wants to go next.
And
that E
with
for
that,
excellent?
while we're talking, I just want to tell everybody, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe because we're trying to build that Brooklyn Aquarium Society YouTube page.
Yes. Show
We're
us
sharing
love,
is caring.
please.
So take a minute now. We should get 14 likes and 14 subscriptions. So yeah, with that being said, I'll get back to the program.
Yeah.
All
Only
right.
instead, do we need to be asking ourselves, does the fish cost more than the toilet it's getting flushed down?
Yes.
If it gets big enough where you can't flush it down, you're good. But if it fits down the hole, you didn't have it long enough.
All right. Yeah, this one's definitely an expensive one, but I'm gonna give it an S. I'm going to steal
Wow.
the screen for one more moment, just to show everybody because it needs to be shown.
Come on, chat. We need you to vote. We only have
I'm
one
with
vote
Justin
on this fish.
one. It's a beautiful
This
fish.
is
Oh, wait, we got
this
two.
is the
Langford said it was an
juvenile
A.
state.
Langford said
It,
Yep. You ever see those pictures that spin around and make
Logan
you
read
like hypnotize?
Langford.
That's what I think
yeah,
of.
and
Sal says D. Wow, even the chat's
even
all over
these-
the place on this. We're all over the place.
Right.
The chat's all over the place.
I think they're scared.
Nobody
of
can make their mind up.
I think they're
Poor
scared of the
Justin.
price in the toilet.
Look, if we were judging on the looks, they would all be S's. It's as easy math.
Oh, okay.
But
Now
it's
I'm
the
seeing.
whole,
Yeah, I've
It's
they all
seen
look
these
like
ones
candy.
live.
Get a
and
bigger
it's
toilet,
even-
people.
I give it an S because even though it'll get too big for me, seeing it live is absolutely amazing. It's a centerpiece in itself in its juvenile state, and then if you have the big enough tank for it, then it's another different showpiece. But for its juvenile state alone, I'm a big fan. But it seems like the chat is not the biggest of fans, and this one is more expensive than the toilet. So don't flush it. Don't flush it.
Hey, you
Take it
guys
back
got
to
some
Home
cheap
Depot.
toilets out there.
More expensive than gold members' toilet.
Yeah, I'm with Justin on this one. This is a stunner of an angelfish. This is actually, I actually in the past, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, I had looked up the juvenile, and I did some research because it was just that beautiful. And just looking at the different morphs, the middle stage, the final stage. This is an angelfish I would love to keep. I know I would need a big tank. There's a lot of negatives to it. It's expensive. It's aggressive. Blah blah blah. This is a gorgeous fish. If you're into
It's
beautiful
pretty.
fish, this is it.
Now we
But
got
there is a lot
Susan,
to sacrifice along with that.
we,
So that being said, I'm gonna mark this one an A.
we got Susan McPhail that says she has a juvenile that's starting to change the colors now and it's starting to get aggressive. So to that, Susan, I'll tell you, you'll see the head change similar to flower horns. It'll start getting aggressive because that's what it does. I mean, if you got
Susan,
a bigger tank,
what do you
box. If
what
have
do you rate this fish on an S to the F, Susan?
Yeah, what do you rate it, Susan? Since you keep it,
Yeah, your opinion counts more than ours. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
and put
Especially
it in.
Justin
I'd like to
drinking.
know what size. I'd like to know what size tank she has it in.
He's not going to tell you.
Right.
He's mad
Or
at you.
if there's any other tangs in
She's
there,
mad
who is
we
the
beat up her
aggressive
fish. We
two?
beat up her fish. Fishmongers.
Yeah. She gave it a B.
You know what? We have an S and two A's, or three A's. That's really like an A plus. Then we have an E, which pulls it down. A C, which pulls it down, and I think B is probably where it falls average wise.
It's about a B plus. Yeah.
Because,
But you
yeah,
said
in
it
that
was
neighborhood,
three A's though.
it's three A's, but there's
Oh,
an
there's
E,
an S.
a C, and a D, and an S.
Yeah, so B plus. Yeah.
All right.
That's fair.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
And Susan has
All right.
125 gallons, so I would need my wetsuit in order to clean that one. Gotcha.
No, I
And
got
she's gonna get a
125.
And you're
500 suit.
upgrading to the
500.
500. All right, the swimming pool.
I have the 125, and you'd be surprised how small it gets. It gets small.
Just to bring your
fast.
trunks.
All right, the next fish up,
Ooh.
another fan favorite, the flame angel.
The flame angel it's one of those dwarf angels or pygmy angels, we call it. This only gets
That's a
4
dwarf,
inches in
yeah.
length. Little tiny guy, relatively easy to keep. Reef safe with caution, like most angels here. And this guy's a little bit pricier for the size. The internet told me this was between $90 and $150 for this fish.
Very
And I don't know. Were these the ones we saw in Queens? I think they're pretty
Yes.
available because there was he had like a couple of them each tank, right?
You'll
So-
usually see these.
Yeah.
These are fish that's sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want me to go?
sure.
You guys want to go? Who wants to go? Adam, why don't you
Question.
start us off?
Question for D. You said these are the ones that are sought after. Did you mean that by availability or just beauty?
Both. Like
Look at it.
obvious-
Look at the thing.
No, I just want to hear
Obvious-
this.
Just,
I know it's beautiful. It's
Flame
definitely an
angel.
eye catcher.
Flame angel, you can't take a picture of because the picture doesn't do it justice. It's very popular, probably the second most popular, in my opinion, to the coral beauty as far as being in stores. They usually, if they have an angelfish, it's this one or that one.
I see. So it's quite available then.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's
yeah.
really good. Yeah, this is a beauty. Actually, Don, it's funny you mentioned that. Don was trying to take some pictures for you the other day, D, when we were at the aquarium. We saw, I don't know, it was like 7 of them. Each,
It was this fish.
yeah, it's every tank or every other tank, they had one inside. And yeah, this picture doesn't even do it justice.
It's
But
hard to take a picture. I hope you get a good. Now he's a photographer. It's hard to take a picture of this fish.
It was. I think I got one okay one, but it's on my phone. I can't show you. It was like
So-so,
underneath
yeah.
the antenna of a shrimp or something like that. It was pretty cool.
and because the red goes into that blue, it's
yeah.
Well, if I got to rate
Striking.
it, if I had to rate it, I give it an S all day.
Go
You want me
for
to write
And
it down?
actually,
Put
I
it
was
right
going to give
down.
it an S as well. That's 2 S's
Put
right there,
that
Don.
down.
I mean, I looked at a couple of fish today, but I don't like buying fish on a whim. And I wish I saw this because I have a fish only tank and I almost bought one, but they didn't have this one. So it was like, no.
I thought Justin had mentioned one of the chats that he was going to get the flame. This was the one I was going to say
Right. Yes.
earlier.
Yes.
It was, right?
Yes. Definitely. So it's also in the list of dwarf angels, so you can keep it in a smaller tank. They're definitely reef safe with caution, so watch out for your zoas and your precious corals. They can be aggressive, so unless you've got a bigger tank, or if you're, they can be aggressive to your other fish unless they've got room to grow. But absolute centerpiece, availability. I've been able to see them in stores and sat and watched and dreamed about being able to get one. I'm starting up a fish only tank, but it's incredibly. Oh, whoa! Nice, nice. That's definitely one, and it's so amazing. I'm trying to set up a small fish
Nice.
only tank, and it's on the list of fish that I was looking at, and next to the Coral Beauty, and then possibly another one that I've seen that we may talk about later. So I'm going to give this one an S class, definitely a centerpiece, even though it might be super aggressive. And apparently Mexicali thinks it's a good mascot for the Mets instead of that guy with the big baseball head.
Well, being the Mets fan, it's Mexicali, so how can I not give it an S? You know, it's the Mets fish, but just when you think like, especially when you don't see these things that often, when you look at the Coral Beauty and it's like, man, hard to get prettier than that. And then this thing pops on the screen, and you're like, hey, wait a second, it's not even pretty. You just keep getting better. It's amazing. It's like, God hired artists to paint these things or something. I don't know. It's really insane. Like the size. I wouldn't be intimidated to like try to keep this fish for my first, fish. So this is, we're unanimous on this. We're all S's. The chat gives it 2 S's and an A.
Wow.
So I think this guy goes to S tier. It's
3
got
S's and an A, yeah.
no, 3 S's and A in the chat.
Yeah, Mexicali gave it an
tonight.
S as well.
I didn't see him.
Then Logan.
Oh,
But yeah,
yes,
it definitely
and,
remains at the S. That's a
yeah. So
superior
yeah,
fish.
this guy's
And
7 S's. So yeah.
W. Mars had mentioned the pygmy flameback angel is also pretty nice as well. It's got a yellow stripe going across its I don't know fish body parts, but from its head down
Dorsal
to its
Yeah.
tail. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool as well. And it's also on my list of dwarf / pygmy. Well, so there's dwarf and then there's pygmy angels under that. So I was looking at more pygmy angels to put in it's a 37-gallon tank, and then it would only just be that and maybe some other 2 or 3 other smaller fish. But it'll be the centerpiece, and I will get nothing else that it'll want to murder or that it will try to be aggressive with. So
What's the typical size for pygmy angels from
oh
maxing out?
well, your max is fine, but 35 and up. I've seen them in smaller. When you go to the stores, they're in 10 gallons, hanging out, and then with other fish. But I would not put that in a 10 gallon. Yeah, I would say for the pygmies, a minimum 30 gallon.
Okay.
And even then, you're kind of stretching
If
the
it's
line.
in there
but
by itself, yeah, and depending on the rock.
Right. And then that's also like fish stocking as well. If you have a whole bunch of other fish in there, no bueno.
All right,
The
that's an F.
appearance
Right?
fish.
What do we got next?
We have the French angel.
The French angel. This is a big dog, one of the biggest ones we're going to see today. This sucker gets 2 feet long, 24 inches. It is not easy to keep. It is not reef safe. It is expensive. You can, depending on the size, you can expect to pay for a small one about $140, $150, all the way up to $700 for a bigger one. So this is definitely an experienced keeper's fish. As far as availability, I'll leave that up to you guys because I don't know.
Hard to find this fish.
Yeah,
Another
definitely
fish that
hard to
I
find.
don't I see them big. I don't see them small, so I'm assuming you have
Very
to buy
true.
them big because I think
Very
they
true.
catch them large.
Yeah,
And
that would make more sense.
Gee, why don't you start us off with this guy?
I never even imagined keeping this fish because I've never seen them under like a foot. I always see them huge. They're beautiful fish, but they're probably really aggressive too. Um, as far as the colors, the temperament, the cost, I would give this a C.
Okay. This is the French Angel gets a C. Don't forget to vote, chat. Don't forget to go. I'll go next. This one, I guess it depends on where you come up in the list too. You're following an S tier fish that's the super bright orange, looks like it's plugged in, and then you get this because I can see. Just say you did have a big tank. Just say you had a 500-gallon, like Susan on here, right? I don't want to. Yeah, Susan.
Yeah,
And
Susan.
then you have all this coral and stuff going on, and you're gonna get some dark spots. And this guy's like, you paid $500 for this thing, and he's like in the shadows all the time. And you're like, I'm telling you, there's a 2-foot-long fish in here. You just gotta wait until he comes out. You're banging the glass, you're trying to tease him out, and this thing's hiding in the back. Maybe you see his eye back there. What's going on? It's gray. It's like hard to keep, nippy, eating corals. This is an F tier fish for me.
This is
That's
the
not-
juvenile. I had
Yeah,
to show you
D
guys
showing
what
the juvenile
The juvenile
phase. Yes.
has
You can't get
the juvenile have stripes.
another fish that's hard to get to. So I give it an F.
that's no excuse. You can see the fish. You just got to jump in the tank like Justin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I've got wetsuits, dry suits. I'm ready.
Justin, why don't you? We'll go down the line. What do you say?
All right, so I'm gonna give this one a B. I really think that its juvenile phase is really cool. When you go to large aquariums, this angelfish is there hanging about, doing its thing. I wish I could keep something like that, but once again, this is a swimming pool fish. So for the folks with the 200 gallons, yeah, sure, grab one and have a good time. I wish I had more experience with it, but I'll still give it a B out of respect. And you said that it gets to be 2 feet long.
Well, I'll tell you, I was telling you about my friend Amy. She has that fish. That's her French angel.
Oh wow!
And I have to say it's probably about 16 to 18 inches.
Wow.
Jesus, yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
That article you can find on Tropical Fish Hobbyist, October's last year. That was from Amy King, her tank. I think her tank's 500 gallons.
Just the thousands of dollars in the setup that you would need. Let's just say that you wanted this fish, like
I couldn't afford this fish.
You would need to just throw so much money in order to get in a good hole. Like,
yeah. I feel the
Adam,
same
what
way.
do you think?
Just for that reason alone, it does look better. This is one of the angelfish for me. It looks much a little bit more prettier than the adulthood patterns and colors. So striking when it's younger. If you do find it when it's small, but apparently that's super rare in itself. So I definitely place this one in the D category.
Okay, so between us, we get a C, an F, a B, and a D. B, D, C. So it's B, C, F, D.
I'm assuming nobody in chat has kept this fish.
And we got a lot of C's, an E, and an F. This fish is like averaging in the D tier.
I would agree. Yeah, that's definitely a D. It's interesting seeing some angelfish. We all agree, both the chat and us, and others. It's just like we're all over the place. So it's good.
And what's crazy is that the larger fish aren't getting as much love, but the smaller fish.
It seems so in reach, Like the average person, whether you keep saltwater or not, these fish are really out of reach. So, I mean, like you said, you got to throw your 401k at this freaking thing just to try to keep it alive.
401k.
Yeah, this is a bundle of money.
That's going to be my retirement. Then.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Very true.
All right. Now here's a beauty I wish I could find. I think I actually saw this one at Exotic when we went. When I bought that that fish that died on me, my $100 fish. They actually had this one. This is the Gold Flake Angel.
The Gold Flake Angel gets to a maximum size of 10 inches. Not a bad size. Like, it's a nice big fish, but not, oh my God. Internet says it's relatively easy to keep.
It's a beautiful fish.
It says it's reef safe. This is not a caution fish. It says this is a reef safe fish, but it's not cheap. This fish, depending on the size, you can expect to pay between $475 and $1,450 for this thing.
Woo!
So that's a wide range of what I found online. Expensive, and I don't know its availability. That's something that we should definitely have put on this list.
I already know the availability. It's very rare.
Can you
to get.
think of something?
It's going to be
another
low.
rare fish, so its availability is very rare. So the chat likes this one.
Hey, what did I work all those years for? To spend my 401k on fish? What the hell?
On a fish, red lobster.
That is a car payment. Oh,
I really eat them.
I'll start off on this one. This is a fish that is, from what I understand, exclusively from Christmas Island. The corals there, and to me, I believe this one morphs a bit as well. Can anyone confirm that when it's smaller? Does it change a bit?
This one isn't all gold when it's small. I think this one stripes up too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's juvenile phase. It has more of the gold, and then when it gets to be an adult, it puts on more of a black hat. Let me.
Gotcha.
I've got it pulled up. Let me just.
Yeah, I got to
show
see that before I put a green.
And look,
you,
for all
Justin.
you guys that are scared of keeping these fish, if you look at the video, it's in a community tank with coral.
So he's got his wild side as a juvenile, and then he's settled down. He's had some kids. Things have calmed down as an adult.
Collecting his pension.
I've seen this one going for about $500, pretty steady.
Live Aquaria is like $600, and they don't even have it. But if they did,
Well, talk about showpiece, right? This will definitely be the showpiece. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one while Justin looks up what the juveniles look like. I would say this is an S tier for me, hands down, because you can keep it with coral. That's a huge bonus. Despite the price, that's the only downside for me. But S all the way. This is a stunning fish.
That's good. Let me go next, get the us freshwater guys out of the way. But going through a scenario in my head, maybe I had a flame angel or something like that, or some clownfish, something inexpensive, and I set up maybe a 55-gallon tank, and I got it going, and things didn't go so well. It did, and then the fish died for whatever reason. But I got some experience, and I was like, all right, I think I got this. This would be like the perfect flex fish if you wanted to get into step 2. I did the clowns, I did some flames, I did some stuff. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna dip my toe in the more expensive waters here and dig it. Take a loan from my 401k and get one. I would get one of these and put in there. So for me, and it's easy fish to keep. Like you said, it's kind of, if I had some other gobies in there, they're not gonna rip their heads off and stuff like that. It doesn't get too big, but it gets big enough. So I would put this in the S tier as well.
Let's go. 2 S's.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I'm going to bring the average down. I'm going to give this guy a C, only because did you guys not see the price? Your pockets, your
$500.
Your kids' college funds. They need braces and such.
Hey, they can eat fine with the teeth they got.
So yeah, only because of price there, but still an absolute beautiful fish. I wish that it could stay in its juvenile phase, but overall, for the masses, and also you need a somewhat larger tank. You don't need a swimming pool, but you need a bigger tank for it. But I've never seen one. Oh, whoa! And that's next to a flame back.
That's how big it is, next to the flames.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an adult. Next to the flames. Those are 2 adults. I saw that video. That's the vendor that sells it for $500. Sorry, Justin.
All right. No. And then what about you, Adam? What would you give this one?
Oh, I already gave it an S.
You already gave it an S.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
And you're going to drag the average down, you said. What do you got?
Okay, yes. Yeah, I'd give it a C.
Wow.
C.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
right through the heart of the fish.
my money, my poor money.
Hey, money is
Wow.
meant for spending.
D,
me
give
my
us a letter.
Hey. Well, I give it an S, superior. If I could drop that money on a fish, I would drop it on this. At least I know it's not gonna revert like those $16,000 fish. You get gold, you got gold.
True.
Ooh, I love
And
that.
it's a community fish. I like the fact I could have this with my tangs, my blue hippo tangs, some trigger fish, and it ain't gonna bother them. So this fish, unlike the emperor, I know it's not gonna kill my other fish off.
Exactly. Yeah. All around, it seems like this is like the perfect angelfish so far, except for
For,
the price, of course. But this is something.
for
This
people
is
with
something
way
you'd
too much
save up
money.
for.
All right,
Give
so
me some.
we have 5 S's, 2 A's, a B, and a C. So the average really would be in the A category with this guy because you guys pulled it down.
Yes.
I said, Justin, we're gonna go to Uncle Don. He's gonna give us the 401k for this.
Yeah.
Yo, look,
With
hey,
interest.
Adam, just tell Grandpa you got to get your car fixed.
Exactly. Sold.
Yeah, that is a hoopty for sure.
All right, let me see what we got here. What do we got here? I'm just putting the cheat out again. That was a go. Okay, we're gonna go from gold to gold. Let me go down here. Where the heck is he? I'm going through everything here.
All the way on the top, I think.
Yeah, the lemon
No.
peel.
Where the heck is it? Hold on a second here. Did I miss it? No. Hold on.
You're supposed to know by looking at the picture. You're reading it and you're cheating.
Yeah, well. I don't see it here. Maybe
Next one down from there.
Hold on, let me see. Maybe I left it out. I don't think I did, but where the hell is it? Gold tail. Oh, okay. Very, very misleading. Very misleading. The gold tail angel. Obviously, this is the juvenile form.
Okay.
I'm going to look for the adult form.
I thought it was. I noticed. I thought I saw it in your list on the left side, all the way down. No,
On the left side, all the way down.
on the left. That's not it.
No.
That's
No.
not it.
No.
On the left. Go over to the left column.
That is the left column.
Oh, you're in the right column on my screen.
No, I mean this. No. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right here.
You know, you're ruining the continuity of this whole thing.
No, that is the juvenile form.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
that's
adult,
definitely
the
the
adult looks
juvenile.
similar to it. Very similar. It doesn't
The
lose the
adult,
stripes.
the adult looks just like the gold flake. That's the misconception. They grow to a very similar color. They are like the Imperator. They start life with stripes and then they grow out.
Yeah. It
All right,
looks like
so
you took half of an Emperata and then
this is the
mushed it
gold.
with.
This is the gold tail angelfish. The size gets to about a foot long. It's not easy to keep. It's not reef safe, and it's not cheap. You can expect to pay between $230 to $700 for this guy. And out of the availability, you guys will have to tell me.
I don't see this fish in a store unless I'm confusing it with the other fish because they look very similar. As you can see, the juvenile is striped. So you would not know that this was a gold flake. So the way you get a deal is like Don, we look at goldfish when you go to buy those fancy goldfish,
Mhm.
buy them as juvenile because they're undervalued as juvenile. And as
Right.
you can see in the video, he shows the evolution of the fish. It starts with stripes and then it grows gold at the tail and then it becomes just like that gold flake. It looks just
Right.
like a gold flake. So me personally, I give it a C because I don't like the juvenile color, but I like the adult color.
All right. I'll go next. We'll go down the line. It gets kind of big. It's hard to keep. It's not easy to find. It's expensive. It's just not. This is something that's like it's not even on the radar. It checks very few. They all check the pretty box, so they all get that. But that's a given anyway. I'm gonna give this fish an E for
Oh,
Uh,
I also note that Sal gave it an F. Logan gave it an E. And
uh,
hey,
uh,
what's up, Keystone?
Daniel gave it an F. Logan
Uh,
gave it an E. See, me and Logan are on the same vibe page.
I'm
James
going
gave
to
it a
give
D.
it.
These fish are, all right.
Yeah,
Justin,
this is a
you
big
can give it
boy.
an S. Go ahead. Tell us how great it is.
No, this is a big boy. It's gonna get big. It's also pricey. But I love the juvenile face. I love that it's almost neon blue against the black with the stripes. Any juvenile that does that. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to give it a B.
Oh,
Even though when it gets older, it looks like it's fusing two fish together, but it's still pretty cool.
You'll get a good
That's
deal if
fair.
you get it at this size. You'll
all
get a
right.
good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, if you can get it small for sure.
I'm smack in
Same
the
thing with
middle for
the
this one.
Emperor.
I'm gonna go
Smack
ahead
in
and
the
give
middle.
smack in the middle. I'm gonna give this one a C. I actually
Okay.
prefer the juvenile look versus the adult. Something
Yeah,
about
Yeah.
the eyes look like they start to bulge out as adults. Reminds me of the telescope goldfish.
maybe it needs
Oh boy.
needs
But
braces.
there's no money for that. Once you buy the fish, that's it. We're out of money. Yeah, I think it looks beautiful when it's young, and they do look like neon blue stripes, like Justin said. It's definitely a gorgeous angelfish, but I'm not a big fan of the morph on this one.
So this one should average in the D class. We got a couple of E's and F, but we got two C's, a B, and a D. So
Okay, we got
it should
some.
average in around D.
I tried, y'all. I tried.
This was an interesting one.
Yeah, that wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Who was it? Let me put my line. And somebody said they mentioned the fish, and it's coming up next.
They mentioned the fish and it's coming up.
Lemon peel. That was Randy.
Ooh.
No, it was
Oh,
No. Oh, wait a
Mars.
minute.
I'm Randy. I'm on his laptop.
Oh, M
it's
Mars. Yeah.
it's the poor man's yellow tang. Yeah. You can afford these and it looks like a tang. Just tell
It's a
yourself it's a
$200
tang.
yellow lab.
Where's my yellow lab stickler people at?
Oh, Don, let the people know about the stats on this guy. But
This is
yeah,
called the lemon peel angelfish. This little beauty. It gets. I guess this would be considered dwarf. It's 5.5 inches, not
yes.
pygmy dwarf. 5.5 inches. They say it's difficult to keep, not an easy fish to keep, not reef safe. A little sucker around your reefs, but as far as saltwater goes, fairly affordable. You can find this guy between $50 and $90. This is an under $100 fish. It looks like it's more, but it's not. And its availability is what, Justin?
You can
You can
find
find
these.
them. Yeah, you can definitely
Okay,
find
so it's
these.
available. You can find it.
And like I said, you can pay $250 to $300 for a baby yellow tang, or you can pay $60 for one of
This.
these.
But in the
uh,
yellow
it,
tang's defense, these don't eat algae.
true,
They may
very
nip
very
on they
true.
may nip on zoas. This is another
The
fish that may
the
nip on
aggression,
soft coral.
yes, and it's also on my list of dwarf angels that I would love to keep in a fowler. I would give it any coral that it likes because look at it, it's so bright yellow. And I'll start this one off. I'll give it an S because I really like
Hey,
Whoa!
this fish. These
hey
things,
now.
you see them from, if you enter a store with them, you see them from so far away before you even know what it is because of that bright color. So, yes, that's an S for me.
Wow.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
D, you want to go? Get the saltwater guys out of the way.
I give it an A, not an S, only because I never seen people keep these a long time. I think they're relatively hard to keep. I see them often in the stores, but there's this one and there's the half black. I spoke to you guys on the phone early, and I was telling you I was very tempted to buying a half black angel. I see people buy them. I don't see people keep them a long time. So I give it an A only because it's a beautiful fish, but at longevity, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I would put it in the same. I'm going to give it an A as well because the looks are right up there. It's small enough. I probably have a couple of tanks just laying around that I could fit this guy in and make a home for him and stuff like that. But that difficulty to keep, it's intimidating, but you can also see it as a challenge. You know what I mean? So it would kind of keep me out of the S tier. It's still fairly affordable. So I'm A.
Come on, you guys keep some hard to keep fish. You keep
Like
some
what?
hard to keep fish.
I got guppies, plecos. I can keep a pleco on my toilet.
And you can flush it if it
Probably
dies.
do better. There's no difference between that and the turd anyway. I hate those things.
Now we're back to the toilet again.
All right, who's
All
up
right,
next?
I'm up next. Let's see. Yeah, price it's great. I think the one downside, if D didn't say that it was sensitive, I would have given this an S tier. But for that reason, I'm gonna also go with an A. Definitely, it is a striking fish, but I haven't seen one in person yet.
Justin?
Yes. No, I gave it an S already. I was a fan.
So we have 2 A's and a B online as well.
I got that. So who else gave it an S?
Justin gave it the S is the only S.
Yeah, I think
And I gave it an A. You gave it an A?
So it's landed
I
on
give
an
it
A.
an
And
Yeah,
D gave it an A.
Yeah.
So
that's an A then.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 A's and S and a B. So it's an A average right there. Goes in the A hole.
Whoa, pause.
Wow, man. And I don't want to spend that pension money. There might not be Social Security or all that stuff. I need that.
A lemon peel, you could get a lemon peel for like $70-$80.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's on the phone to Vanguard. Send me another $100.
Cash me
Josh
out,
was
buddy.
saying,
Cash me out, guys. I want some angelfish.
I'm spinning the farm on angelfish.
Josh was saying that you can apparently find yellow tangs for less than $250, but I haven't seen it. And then also,
I seen it.
there's also a gem tang where I don't know if you guys know what that looks like, but it's
black.
It's like the Maybach top, but it's on a fish, and I've only seen them for like $1,000, and I always go back at him and that he's got one, and he did not pay $1,000 for it, so I'm always just like, oh, there's your $1,000 fish, man, nice.
No, some of these fish are like fashion. They come in and out of with popularity. Like the gem tang was one of the first black tangs, so it got really expensive. The same thing with the angels. The pygmy angels got readily available because they were coming out of Hawaii, they were coming out of Australia, they were easy to get. But now when we start shutting down those markets, you don't see them, so the price goes up.
Gotcha.
Is that the tang that has the top and bottom orange and white stripes on the fins, or is that a different tang?
That's a different tang.
Yeah,
the gem tang is all black with white spots like stars.
Yeah, like the interior of the Maybach, how it's got like that constellation. It's like that, but on a fish, and it's
just on the fish.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sounds like a beauty.
That's a gem tang.
Next fish up, Mr. D.
Okay.
Next fish up is the multicolor angel.
We have the multicolor angelfish. This guy would be, I'm going to say pygmy, 3.5 inches. Does that put it in the pygmy and the dwarf?
Whoa.
It's right between both.
I would say that's pygmy. Yeah.
It's tiny.
Heard of
so
this
I think it's one of the smallest fish on our list today. So it's only 3.5 inches long. Easy to keep. Reef safe with caution. So this guy, like Justin says, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. And then, The price on this, it's a little over the $100 mark. They says you can find this between 100 and 140 for this fish. Its availability, I do not know.
I haven't seen one of those in an aquarium.
What's its name again?
This is the multicolor angelfish.
Multicolor. They couldn't give it a better name than just it's got color in it. This is a beautiful fish, though. I've never seen one of these.
All right, so start us off, Justin. Tell us, talk to us.
All right. Well, it's got a lot of things going for it. For the fact that it's a pygmy, I'm going to give it an A because it means that if you've got the money, if you've got that pension money that you want to dish out, and $100 to $140 is not bad. But for the fact that you can keep it in a smaller tank, which is what a lot more of us may have, that means that a lot more people can maybe manage it. That's a pretty interesting looking fish. It looks like it wanted to be 11 peel, but then it got confused and then wanted to be 11 peel again. there's some interesting stuff, but just to wrap it up, I'll give us an A. Pygmies are great. But let them eat your zoas.
All right, I'll go next. This is look. You can tell by the way I've been voting. I'm a sucker for the small fish, something I can actually keep. I think I can keep in my mind because I have the space for it and stuff like that. As far as the looks of this fish, this is probably the least pretty fish. I mean, it can't make up its mind what it wants to be, this fish. And the middle looks like it's dying. It's like pale. It's like when the fish starts to die, it's in a little pale spot. It's like the paleness is going to spread until he kicks the bucket and I hit the handle on the toilet. So,
wow.
Because it's, I'm going to give it a B. Just, I don't know. That's what I feel like. James gave it a B. I'll give it a B. Sal gave it a B. There you go. I'm lining up with the chat. Everyone in the chat gave it a B. I give it a B. We're on the same page.
If you go to Don's house and the toilet's overflowing, there's a fish in there.
Yeah. G, why don't you tell us what you think?
I'll give it a B. Short, quick, and to the point. Pretty fish, not on my hit list. B. Plain.
Okay. Adam.
For me, I feel the same way. That dead spot there, or the lack of pigment, would be the opposite of me getting into saltwater. It's just not an attractive fish for me. I do like that it is a dwarf, but I'm going to give this one a D.
A B.
D.
All right.
As in David.
Yeah, B, right? As in baby?
No, D. As in D.
Oh, D as in D from Brooklyn?
Yeah, there you go.
D as in the toilet. In the toilet.
So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 5 B's, an A, and a D. So he goes in the B category.
It's a zombie angel.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead of angelfish.
But anyone in the chat, we plan on doing this stuff more often. And I think we're going to try to do in the future freshwater angelfish, of course, and stuff like that. So if any of you guys want to be on the panel and give your opinion, just do what we're doing. Give a little quick thing. We'll have the same setup. Just reach out to one of us, and then put your hat in the ring, and we can do something like this. And that being said, it brings us to our last saltwater angelfish of the night, Mr. D.
Hold on, please. Hold on, chat. Please also let us know what fish that you want to see as well.
The queen angel, and they don't call her the queen for nothing. This is another hallmark of the aquarium trade. Like when you think angelfish, you definitely think of the queens and the emperors.
Yeah, if there's going to be a saltwater fish poster advertising an aquarium or a food or something like that, this is going to be on it. This is the queen angel. The size is 18 inches. She gets big. Ooh. Difficult to keep. Not reef safe. She's going to plow right through your corals. The price on this thing, of course, depending on size, because she gets so big, you're going to start off at about the $160 mark, all the way up to the $500 mark, all the way up to the $400K mark for this
price.
For this price. Queen Angel availability. Anybody? Yes, you can get it.
You'll see them small. They tend to have these.
Hard to get, easy to get.
Yeah, I mean the bigger stores.
I have not seen.
Stores would have them.
I have not seen.
Oh no. So moderately, we'll give it a. Sometimes you see it once a year.
Yeah, you'll see it.
But
You'll
So
see
D,
it in,
start
you'll
us
see it
off.
in
like
We'll go
Florida.
down the list.
very
What
large
you did in the
tanks,
beginning.
you'll see them
I
for
give
sure.
it an
Chat,
A.
the chat likes it. I'll tell you right now. The
I
chat
give it an A
likes it. D gives it an A. You want to tell us why? Or you just want to give it an A?
because it's a beautiful fish.
Oh, we
And
know
you
that.
can get it. You can get it at a good price. You can get it for that $150 price. And think about it. You're gonna get a fish that's gonna grow into that. You could probably
Okay.
sell that fish for $1,000 at full size.
Who's on your screen?
Which
No, he was showcasing.
Oh, he's got some guy. I thought I'm like, who the hell is that? He's talking. Did he get kidnapped?
shout out to Daniel Nestorio. He does profiles on all the fish. So shout out to Daniel Nestorio. You can check out his YouTube channel. I go to him. He owns one of the shops down
How much did
there.
he pay you for that plug?
Nothing. You should send me the fish for that plug.
This is a beautiful fish, though. Just to save time, I'm going to give this one an S, and I agree with chat. You need the space, you need the swimming pool. I'm pretty sure I've never seen this in a store, but I've seen it at like large aquariums. It's going to be one of those staple fish that is there, and the colors just don't do it justice. So I'll give this one an S.
Yeah, I can see like if I did, get off the ground with the little coral beauties and stuff, like little maybe pygmy, work them to a dwarf, and get myself going and stuff like that. I could see this being the end zone. My what is it called? The glory fish? No, it's something else.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. My glory fish. The
Whoa,
Holy
whoa,
Grail.
whoa.
Like I could see this being it, and like if I finally get there, that would be like I feel like I accomplished it. And if I had this thing swimming around, I'd be taking pictures of it, flexing like crazy. So yeah, I think I would put this in the S category as well. It really does belong. Someone's got to be the queen, and this might as well be it.
They live a long time too. These fish live a long time. Like the emperor angels, you can have one of those 15, 20 years easy.
Whoa. Give it to the kids and the grandkids.
What do you think, Mr. Adam?
I would call this the mascot for the angelfish. It is a stunner. This is a head turner. This is probably, if I was into saltwater, this would be the end game goal to get a massive tank like Susan, jump in and swim with my fish. This would be the fish. Yeah, I give this one an S for sure.
Just don't pee in
Gorgeous.
the tank.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful.
That for our final fish lands in the S category. We have 6 S's and an A. So yeah, this is an S tier category.
Wow.
So let's just go over the
above the other S's we have.
No, we had one unanimous, didn't we? No. The Flame Angel got all S's and an A also.
Oh, snap. Okay.
But it got all S's from us, like as the non-chat.
Yeah.
The panel. Wow. Look how this it goes from, I thought maybe it'd be the other way around. There'd be a few pinnacle fish and everything would go down. It's like the opposite.
Yeah, no, we like some stuff.
Yeah, it's always these charts always come out different than what I think it's going to come out in my head. It's very strange what everybody says.
Well, we can agree on one thing: the smaller fish got the better reviews. I don't know whether it's ease of keeping or just the availability in itself. But if this says anything to anybody watching right now, is a lot of these fish are readily available and you can keep them. They are not unobtainable. You can actually, a few of our supporters, I know Pop Coral, they keep Flame Angels, Coral Beauties, Bicolors. They're a supporter of Brooklyn Aquarium Society. Brooklyn Zoo, once in a while, they'll get Flame Angels, they'll get Coral. Those two pygmies, and I'll add the bicolor, are the most readily available, and you can keep them. You don't need a massive tank. You can get away with those pygmies. Have a 55-gallon, even a 40 breeder, and just some rock in there, and you'll have a beautiful fish.
Yeah, what was the place, Adam, we went to in? It starts with a K, with all the salt water in it.
Was that Brooklyn? You mean?
No, the one in Queens that we saw the Flame Angels.
Oh, actually, Pacific keeps those too. I left out Pacific Aquariums in Manhattan.
That was the one we went underground. I forget the name. That was the one that was new to me. Yeah,
Casino or something like that. I can't remember the name. It's the name of the street off of Flushing, and that place, you know, you could have walked out of there with a bag of flames. You know, there was a bunch of them. They had tons of really nice saltwater fish. Half his store is saltwater. It's a lot of these fish. I'm not a saltwater guy, but I recognize a bunch of the smaller fish there that we saw. That were and he keeps his tank. They're spotless, man. He keeps his tanks
no
really,
dead fish
really
in his
good
tanks at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to get the name of that one.
And
Maybe the
we
next
do a fish
saltwater
store
stream will
tour.
mention it.
I can't use my phone because I'm using it for this. It'll shut it down. But if someone wants to Google it.
We got to do a fish store tour. That is wrapping it up. That is wrapping it up. We've been on here a good hour and a half. I want to thank everybody for participating. Look for us on Facebook. We always post what's going down on Facebook, the Brooklyn Aquarium Society, and on Instagram, Brooklyn Aquarium Society on Instagram. For this and content like this, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. Subscribe because we know what you want. We want to know what you want. Put in the comments if you want to see something else. We're doing freshwater, saltwater, nano, you name it, we're trying to do it. Anybody have any closings?
Found the aquarium. It's called Casena Aquarium, right? Was that it?
It is Casino.
Oh, Casino, Casino, the street, Casino Boulevard. Was it Casino Boulevard?
No, it's Casino Aquarium. It's on Casino Road, or Casino Boulevard is the name of the street. And you got to walk down into the basement to get it. It's in like a very Asian area, but man, that place is. I used to go to years ago because I worked a lot more in Queens. That's a good. That's pretty good.
But yeah, thanks everyone for coming, Justin. It was wonderful having you here.
Yes.
Yeah, Justin, you did a great job, man. You really pulled our ass out of the fire because we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
PG,
and just wanted to say, when it comes to the all the viewers at home, let us know what you want to see. Like, you know, you want to see invertebrates, freshwater, saltwater. We can talk about that.
We can do the best plants. We can do anything.
Right. So it's all about what you want to see, and we're here to do the best that we can to provide that content for you. So much appreciated. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for coming, Justin. We're gonna. It was last minute. We called Justin like 2 hours ago. We're like, "Hey, you want to be on TV?" He's
like, "All right, to do on a Friday." Yeah, sure.
If anyone has, you can leave it on the Brooklyn Aquarium Society Facebook page too. If you got any ideas there, you'll see us at the club meeting. You want to tell us there. But if anyone wants to come on and do this with us, you're more than welcome. We'll come up with a topic and we'll put you on here, and you tell us A, B, C. It's not hard. Justin just fit right in. It was a piece of cake, right? Easy.
And we're not scientists.
They were nice.
This is our opinion. I mean, all of us keep fish. You may have a specific interest or knowledge in a fish. We welcome it because it's sharing and caring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 10 different people do this list, and it's completely different. So it's just our opinion. Chat alike, it is what it is.
That's the beauty of having a panel. So with that, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Look both ways crossing the street. Change that water because dirty water kills fish. Or somebody said that. And see ya.
Later, guys.
Have a